All right. Hello, everyone. And my name is Nigel, of course, and welcome to another movie review. So, this is going to be a review of none other than the Goofy movie. Of course, as always, I'm not a professional movie reviewer, just a man who enjoys a good time, and I definitely had a good time revisiting a piece of my childhood here with the original Goofy movie. Now, for starters, I'm using my professional like System Shock radio equipment here. Normally, I use like my stand and I record with my phone, but I can't seem to find my stand for right now. So this will have to do. Of course, I try not to use this like professional equipment for my movie review. Of course, like I said, I'm not professional, but in this case, I will have to. It's probably somewhere around here, but uh, back to a Goofy movie. Now, this was almost like watching it with a fresh pair of eyes because it has been a while since I've seen this movie. So, it's on Disney Plus, so I was able to check it out there, and I did enjoy watching this movie. Now, um, apparently this was based off the Goof Troop TV show, so this is like a continuation of it, similar to how, of course, the SpongeBob movie was supposed to be like a continuation of the show. And fun fact, was actually supposed to be where the show was supposed to end, but Nickelodeon renewed it because it was so popular. So, if you're sick of modern SpongeBob, well, you kind of know who to blame. But Steven Hillenburg has said that it's canonically going to be like the last episode of the show, which is the movie. So for now, we'll have to see. But yeah, so back to this now. Of course, I didn't watch the Goof Troop TV show growing up. I just never really caught it. I don't hate Disney characters like Goofy and stuff. In fact, Goofy's probably one of my favorites. He's like funny, especially with his yell. But I just never watched it growing up. And in terms of like animated cartoons, I usually either went to Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network as a kid. But I did see the Goofy movie, and I did enjoy watching the Goofy movie. What I like, what I not like about it. Starting off with what I like, it definitely it had humor, a lot of like slapstick and stuff, which Goofy is known for, her of course, and it's there with his both him and his son Max. There's a lot of slapstick comedy there. Not really a whole lot of like actual jokes. It's more like slapstick and stuff going wrong as Goofy takes his son Max on vacation, but Max doesn't want to go on vacation. He instead wants to go to California because he told Roxanne, which was his crush and everything, that he's gonna be at the Powerline concert because his dad knows Powerline. But of course, there's Max gets wrapped up in the lies and um, definitely he learns his lesson when he admits the truth. But Roxanne, she loves him for who he is, and I think the message they do get across pretty well towards the end of the movie. Now, in the show, in the Goof Troop TV show, Max is supposed to be 11, but here he's in high school. So, and then of course with the next movie, which is a very goofy movie, Max is by the time it comes out, he's in college. He's starting out in college, so freshman high school to freshman in college in the next movie. But for here, he's high school. He's kind of seen as like the loser and everything, but he impresses everyone and by doing like a power line thing and imitating power line in the gym and during the assembly, and of course he gets in trouble for it. So Goofy decides he's to bond with his son, and it leads to some hijinks and some funny moments between the two. And I do like sort of the chemistry, how Goofy's like, the kind of the overprotective dad. It kind of a klutz, Goofy. So he's like overprotective dad and everything, while Max is more like the moody teenager, or kind of moping around, like like rock music and video games and skateboarding and stuff, which I kind of related to. That's mainly what I was into and kind of still am, except for skateboarding. I never really good at it, but so Max is your typical teenager, and of course he has friends. His best friend, of course, PJ, which is the son of Pete, who is kind of in Goofy's ear throughout this movie, trying to tell him, you keep your son under your thumb. You gotta be more aggressive against your son, and your son, you let your son walk all over you. My son respects me and everything, and it's interesting to see because Pete, he especially if you play Kingdom Hearts, you forget Pete wasn't always a full-on villain. And in Kingdom Hearts, he's more of a villain, and more so, I should say, Kingdom Hearts 2, because that's where he makes his debut at. Um, but in any other portrayal of Pete, he's more like anti-hero, where he's kind of a jerk, kind of mean and stuff, kind of underhanded, but not like full on evil or diabolical, kind of like in Kingdom Hearts, where he's teaming with Maleficent and stuff. For example, in the Steamboat Willie cartoon, he was more like Mickey's boss and everything, and here he's kind of more like he's a bit more, like stern. He's a bit more aggressive than Goofy. And it's interesting to see that, and then comparing it, like I said, to Kingdom Hearts, where he's like full on villain. So, which side of Pete do you prefer more? Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, so we see the chemistry between Goofy and Max, as well as Goofy and Pete, and we see how some of what Pete says does start to like influence what Goofy does, especially when Pete reveals that Max lied. So Max changes the map, instead of going to Lake Superior. Not Lake Superior. I forget the exact name of the lake, but they instead are headed to California for the Powerline concert, and Goofy, of course, pretty upset that Max lied to him, but they do eventually go to the concert once Max, tells him stuff and about Roxanne and impressing her, and they do make it on stage more, but through some more hijinks and everything. But yeah, so it's interesting to see the chemistry between Goofy and his son Max and how it plays out. Oh, and of course Goofy being the embarrassing dad and everything, and Max having to put up with it, and Max going a lot of places he doesn't necessarily want to go, like the Possum concert and stuff like that. But yeah, so we do see the interaction between the two characters, and it shows us some dynamics between the two. How Max kind of feels like disconnected from his dad, and even though Goofy's trying to establish that relationship, of course Goofy's mannerisms and Max is like teenage angst, I guess, if you want to call it that, kind of get in the way of that. But they don't necessarily hate each other. They kind of just misunderstand each other, but they still stick together, and they still get to the Powerline concert. But Max does tell the truth to Roxanne, who surprisingly, if I remember correctly, doesn't appear in the extremely Goofy movie that would follow, where Max goes to college and everything. In fact, I don't even think she's mentioned, which is kind of weird that it's not even mentioned, where if they did break up somehow, it's not talked about out in that movie. But maybe it is. I probably just gotta rewatch it. But as far as what I didn't like about the movie, I do feel like Max was a bit hit of like an over jerk, if that makes any sense, where sometimes he was like straight up cruel to his dad and everything, and it's like, oh Jesus, man, I get moody teen, but Jesus, man. And he's just trying to hang out with you and spend time with you. But Max, of course, has his own interests, but I do think they go a little overboard with it. And thankfully, I thought the length would be an issue. It's about an hour, like hour 10, hour 20 minutes, around that mark. But thankfully, it doesn't feel that short, and it doesn't feel that long. I feel like the time is kind of appropriate for the movie. It's paced pretty well, which I do like. And of course, we get a cameo from Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck, who are on the side of the road, and because of course it's Disney and everything. But yeah, so overall I did enjoy watching it, getting to see, and of course Powerline And the song at the end, Eye to Eye, really solid stuff, man. Really, really good stuff. I was jamming out to that for the first time in a long time when I watched the movie. But pretty cool to see, all things considered, and I really did enjoy the movie. Now, of course, it's not really for my age group. It's more so for like the younger generation. Like, for example, I have a niece, so and a nephew as well, her younger brother. So it's kind of like for them now, but still being able to experience it myself was pretty cool, all things considered. But yeah, so that's gonna do it for this review. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on the movie, on my take on the movie and everything. And of course, we got System Shock Radio and poetry. Not poetry, not Jixie. Not Jixie's Tales from the Labyrinth coming up on Sunday. So stay tuned for that. And as for the next crime analysis, of course, I'm doing them every once a month, and I've decided that we're going to do it during spring break, which is going to be during the last week of the month. So, in about a couple weeks, pretty excited for that. But and more details about who I'll be covering will be coming up soon. But of course, if there is someone you want me to cover on those crime analysis videos, then definitely let me know. You can inbox me. You can put it in the comments of this video. Any way you can get a hold of me, definitely do so. I'd love to hear your suggestions. But thanks for watching, and I will see you guys later. Peace.